This program contains true stories of rescues. All of the 911 calls you will hear are real. Whenever possible, the actual people involved have helped us reconstruct the events as they happened. We begin in the pre-dawn hours of March 21st, 1991, on a dark country road in Clackamas County, Oregon. Joe Shapinski was driving east on Highway 26 that night.
I got off work about 2:30 in the morning, and I was heading home. The vehicle passed me doing at least 75, 80 miles an hour. I was thinking to myself, hey buddy, you better slow down. I'd hate to find you on the roadside somewhere.
Dennis Galindo and his wife were awakened by the sound of the accident.
I ran down to the end of the driveway and seen the truck. Flames were coming out of the engine compartment, and it was growing fast.
911, please, fire medical.
Yeah, there's an accident in front of my house.
Okay, it's in front of your house?
The car's on fire, and there's a guy
And the car's on fire?
And there's a guy inside the car.
Okay, we'll have someone there as soon as we can.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Engine 252, rescue 251.
Volunteers from the Hoodland Fire Department were dispatched to the scene.
I had seen all this debris in the road, mailboxes and broken glass, and then I saw the vehicle. I ran over kind of hesitant, because you never know what you're going to see when you look inside. I was pretty much afraid that that there could be somebody dead in there.
When we continue.
I remember trying to force it open, but the door was just jammed. I had visions of it blowing up. Come on, we gotta get you out of here.
While driving home from a late work shift, Joe Shapinski spotted a vehicle that was in a shallow gully off the side of the road with its hood in flames and stopped to check if anyone was trapped inside.
Hey, buddy, you okay?
He looked in pretty sad shape. His face was all cut up and bleeding, and the fire was getting pretty intense.
Hang on, buddy. I'm gonna get some help.
Joe ran to the nearest house to call for help.
I grabbed the fire extinguisher and ran back out. I seen the guy laying over on the passenger seat. He was completely out of it. His face was full of blood, and his nose was completely wide open. I could see right into his nostril. I remember trying to force it open, but the door was just jammed. and the flames were coming up the windshield. It was getting hotter. I had visions of it blowing up.
Hey, man, come on, we gotta get
And that's when another guy come out of the dark. Just a miracle, 'cause I was gonna need help.
Come on. Hey, we gotta get him out of here. Come on, man.
I tried putting out the fire, and it didn't have any effect. It just seemed to keep getting larger and larger.
2509, you're responding to a single vehicle accident. It is on fire. There are people trapped, and we are still getting calls. We are putting Lifeline on standby at 212.
9 months pregnant with twins, Kelly Galatz was waiting for her husband Chris, a steel worker and volunteer firefighter.
That night I was staying with my mother because Chris was going to be working late.
This is it?
I started having labor pains, and we made arrangements that if I was to go into labor, I could go through the fire department and they would have him paged.
You could see the flames coming up through the floorboard. It was going to blow up or be engulfed in flames, so we just dove in.
I know whenever somebody's in an accident, moving them could damage him for life. But it was get him out or let him die. And I don't think I could have stepped back and listened to him scream to death from the fire.
Come on, man. You gotta get him out of here. Oh, let's go. Let's do it.
My worst nightmare during this whole thing was the moment when he got hung up.
The foot stop. Come on. All right. Hey. Hey, man. Oh, man, he's bad shape.
I thought this guy was going to have some major, serious problems. I was shaking the rest of the night.
You're all right.
A few moments after we got him out, I looked back and it kind of went kaboom, and the whole thing was just engulfed. It was just a big fireball.
Okay, thanks. They said that he was probably on a call, that there was an accident, so they were going to try to get a hold of him there.
Whenever he comes back. Great.
Hoodland Fire Captain Ron Martin arrived on the scene within 7 minutes of the call.
He had quite a bit of facial trauma.
Okay, I'd like you to hold his head and neck.
I bent down and I told him that I was with the fire department.
With the fire department.
He reached up and grabbed my arm.
Just hold on.
And I patted him on the hand and I said, "We're going to help you."
Command, SIGCOM.
Command, this is SIGCOM.
According to...
While Ron Martin relayed information to the Clackamas County 911 Center, the fire department was attempting to locate Kelly's husband, Chris.
We have a guy out on the emergency right now whose wife just called. She thinks she's going into labor.
Let me make sure I'm understanding. One of the guys that's out on this accident scene,
She believes he's out there.
do we have a name of the person that we're trying to reach?
Yeah. Chris Galatz, Galatz.
When firefighter EMT Barbara Matheson arrived, she took charge of the victim's care.
Get backwards, C-collar, Sexton, get on this guy right away.
The patient's face was completely covered with blood. His nose was split down the middle and laid on either side of his face. It was some of the most severe facial trauma I'd ever seen, and it was highly disturbing because I had never seen trauma like that on a viable patient anyway.
Where's that backwards? Come on, let's get down here.
SIGCOM, command. Command. Yes, sir. Can you advise or try and ascertain for us if you have a firefighter Galatz on the scene?
Negative, SIGCOM.
In the event that he should arrive on the scene in private vehicle, would you advise him to call home emergency?
Copy, SIGCOM.
This officer come up and he looked at me and says, "Do you know whose vehicle that is?" And I said, "Who?" And that's when he said, "Chris Galatz's." All of a sudden, something just dropped into my stomach, and that vision went into my head of him grabbing my arm.
Hi, this is 2509.
Hi.
Listen, don't worry about Chris Galatz. This is for your information only. No pass on. He was the one involved in the accident.
Oh, fuck, his wife is having babies.
I know.
Ron came over to us and said, "You guys, this is Chris." And we couldn't believe it. But looking into his face, I didn't recognize Chris at all. And I emotionally went on a roller coaster trying to reconcile the fact that this was one of our fellow firefighters that was lying here.
If Dennis and Joe had not reacted as quick as they did, Chris would have been dead. There's no way we could have rescued him because it was fully involved when we arrived. I did wonder if that was the last time I was going to see Chris alive. He is an expecting father, and he may never see his babies. And even if he does live, what kind of person is he going to be?
As 25-year-old Chris Galatz was transported by Lifeline to Oregon Health Sciences University Hospital in Portland, his wife Kelly was told he had been in a serious accident.
I didn't know what to expect. I thought that he was going to die. I didn't think I was going to see him again. I didn't think he was going to see the twins be born.
As soon as doctors determined Kelly was not yet in labor, she went to be with Chris.
It didn't even look like Chris. He was unrecognizable. But it was a relief when I found out that it was just his face. I mean, I expected a lot worse. So I felt that we were both pretty lucky.
Chris was treated for severe facial fractures and released after 5 days.
2 days later, the twins were born. And the hospital fixed him up a little bed on the couch, and he was recuperating next to me where I was recuperating with twins on each side. And there are just hospital patients everywhere in the room. Chris's face is a little different than it used to be, but I think Chris is still very cute.
When I see my kids today, I think how lucky I have been to survive this whole ordeal. I owe a lot to Joe and Dennis. You know, if they wouldn't have been there, I probably wouldn't be here today.
They had an award ceremony for Joe and Dennis at the fire department, and it was very emotional. Everybody cried. Joe and Dennis are my heroes. I have no way to tell them how much I appreciate everything that they've done and how I'm glad that they were there.
Wow. This is some really good pizza. I didn't do anything more than I would want somebody to do for my wife, kids, or myself.
This whole picture would be different if Chris wasn't there. He would have never got to see his two beautiful little girls, and it just feels good that he's there.
On March 5th, 1992, 2 employees of a bar and grill in Greenville, North Carolina were closing up for the night. All the customers were gone, and bartender Bert Marlowe and assistant manager Kathy Strickland were down to their last few tasks before going home. Some of the footage in this story was taped as the events unfolded.
Approximately 2 a.m., a lone gunman entered the restaurant. Inside at that time was the assistant manager.
Yeah. Okay, so I'll see you soon.
When we continue.
I had a difficult time understanding exactly what he was saying, but I did get the gist of what was going on. There was no 911 emergency.
Is there any way you can speak up, because I can barely hear you? I'm calling from Applebee's. Yeah?
The call came in to Greenville Police telecommunicator Bobby Cannon.
I had a very difficult time understanding exactly what he was saying, but I did get the gist of what was going on. There was an armed robbery in progress there.
All right, hold on. 91. Code 2 response to Applebee's on Greenville Boulevard. Address responsible. 1065 in progress. Didn't he hang up? He heard the female calling him. He laid his phone down, went to check with her. He hasn't come back to the phone.
He never come back. And that's when we knew for a fact that we had a bad situation.
Lieutenant Lee Garish got to the scene within 5 minutes of hearing the call on his radio.
You could look in and see an individual crawling across the floor. So I identified myself as a police officer. Told him to show himself and to come out.
He's got a gun, he's got a gun!
I believe I might have hit him. I'm not sure. He has got a weapon.
I felt at that instant that if I did not shoot at him, he was going to shoot at me. Within approximately 5 minutes, I could see the gunman with the female, and he has the gun to her head, and he has the male with his right arm, and he brings them both out together. And I can hear him yelling through the glass, I want a car, or I will kill these hostages.
No way, man!
Then he yells, I'm letting him go with the keys. I want him to start the car, the hostage's car.
Get out! Get out!
And I told him we could not provide him a car, to please let the hostage go. And he screamed back, I will kill her first. I will not let her go. Get me a car. We handcuffed the male subject. It's a possibility he's a suspect.
What's your name?
I asked him, I said, do you think you know who he is? He said, I think so. I recognize the voice.
So I tell them who I think it is, and that this was done by a co-worker friend. And I was very angry because this was supposed to be my friend who was doing this, and he was supposed to be a friend of Kathy's.
Police department. Who is this?
You're going to jail tonight. You got that?
Yes.
I want out now. Can you arrange that?
How many are you in there? Who are you requesting this for? You? Just you alone?
Me and my hostage.
You and your hostage? Sir, is it just you and the female in there alone?
Yes.
Why don't we just go ahead and take care of it before it gets any worse for you and anybody else?
It's bad, baby.
Well, I know it's bad, but we don't want it to get any worse.
I don't want to get any worse either, but I will die before I get caught.
You sure the female's okay? It's in there with you?
Yes, she is right now, but I can't promise anything. If I die, she's going too.
When he made the threat, I did believe him. But the main goal was to try to keep him calm, to keep anyone from getting hurt.
Let the female go.
On several occasions, I could see the suspect put the gun to Kathy's head.
In the air, and then we will come up with him. That's the only conditions at this time. Have you notified the rescue team?
I could see him put the gun to his head, and it appeared to be eliciting a response from us to shoot him, to shoot at him. We did not know what he was trying to do.
A command post was set up across the street, and hostage negotiator Sergeant Doug Jackson was brought in.
He advised me that he wanted to die.
There's no point in you committing suicide.
My main goal was to get Kathy out of there unhurt, and hopefully nobody else would be hurt.
By 3:15 a.m., the police emergency response team arrived under the command of Sergeant David Johnson.
We were advised that he wanted a car, he was coming outside, and he was going to leave. He wanted the keys to the patrol car, and I kept informing him he didn't have anywhere to go. His only option was to go back inside. And he was saying, I have another option. I can let the girl go and then start shooting at you, and then you're going to have to kill me. I got the impression at that point that he really wanted us to kill him. So I was able to convince him to go back inside. I just told him, why didn't he just let the girl go and everything would be okay? She was almost hysterical at this point. I remember hearing her say she didn't want to go back inside.
We continued to talk. He talked to his father. He told me that his father had hung up on him. He called his mother, and she tried to talk David into coming out, and David wouldn't come.
But just as dawn was breaking, it seemed like the mood had kind of switched. I was becoming more convinced that something was about to happen. He had made the comment to the negotiator that it would all be over with in a matter of moments. He started consuming beer. And once he starts drinking, we have a real concern that he might not be rational.
The suspect's step-uncle, Leighton Getzinger, was notified of the situation. And around 10:30, he went to the scene with Police Chief Chuck Hinman to offer his help.
I was convinced that the step-uncle really did have a positive influence over the hostage-taker. I agreed to a swap of sorts. I agreed that if he, the hostage-taker, would release the hostage, that I would then let the step-uncle enter.
Okay, I got her. I got him. He's back.
I got him. I got him. She's gone.
Okay, she's
free. She's out.
And I guess it was at that point that I finally said it's over. And I hugged my mom and dad, I guess, at the same time, and it was just very heartbreaking to hear my father just cry. He doesn't cry. And it was upsetting. It made me angrier.
We have the girl. Okay, all you to stand by. The uncle has just gone in. All you to stand by. The uncle's inside.
I got it.
Party people video away from the inner
Of this magnet. They stayed inside for approximately 20 minutes and talked, and I then called them, and the uncle answered the phone and told me that to back off, to give them plenty of time, that there was no hurry, that he had the gun, and that the gun was a toy gun. It surprised everyone, because the whole night long we had gone on the assumption that the gun was real. We allowed him to talk about 15 more minutes, and I called the uncle back, and he said that they were about ready to come out. He says, just please don't rough him up when he comes out. And I told him he would not be roughed up if he did as instructed.
He said, well, I've screwed up so bad here. I said, I know, but we're going to, it'll work out. This is not the end of the world. It's going to be a delay in the rest of your life. That's it. But Kathy's alive. You're alive. I'm alive. Live people can fix things. Dead people can't.
Mr. Melvin, why'd you do it?
During the 9 hours and 20-some minutes, there was a number of times when he could have been taken out.
As long as he didn't hurt Kathy, then he wasn't going to get hurt. And I think that that's pretty well the epitome of restraint, and that's about the best that we could have done.
Yeah, tell my dad to kiss me.
The suspect was subsequently found guilty of 3 felony charges and sentenced to 45 years in prison.
We have visited with him. He's probably the model prisoner. He has not received any rehabilitation since he's been in prison. That concerns me. But I think going to prison was probably good for him because it reinforces some of the things that were destroyed in his character as a young man by the abuse that he suffered. And that's having to make commitment, pay for your mistakes.
I've forgiven him, and I pray that he's all right, and I worry about him. But then again, it was just so upsetting to have a friend go just to do this to you. Because my heart went out for him, but then it hated him too. It was difficult. I guess that's why I felt like I was going nuts. And you have so much fear. But I'm getting better. I feel that old Kathy coming back. It's nice.
Vacations usually leave us with a scrapbook of pleasant memories. Every year, Danette Emmer and her 2 children spend the better part of the summer at her father's house in the Colorado River. Her husband Lyman joins them every weekend as work allows. When they arrived July 6th of 1992, they were looking forward to another enjoyable stay. But this year, their trip did not turn out the way they had pictured.
Compared to the other parts of the Colorado River, it is one of the most quiet. But the current is very deceiving. When you get in it, as soon as you get in it, you are carried away by it.
My boy, Neil, he doesn't know how to swim. Even contrary to belief, he thinks he does.
Hang on, baby.
When he talks about going to the river, he's really looking forward to see Bella. Obviously he wants to see Grandpa, but, Bella comes out in the same breath. The 2 of them are pretty inseparable. Wherever Neil goes, Bella's there.
Bye, babe.
Love you.
See you, Neil.
I was going home because I had to get back to work.
Some of this?
Told the kids that I loved them, and I'd see them Friday, and hopped in the van, and we were off.
Neil, you make sure you put that life jacket on if you're down by the water. Understand? See you guys Friday.
Bye. You guys hungry? You want some sandwiches? Yeah. Okay, let's go.
At that point, I went inside, told the kids to stay away from the water. Then my oldest boy, LJ, had come in. I told LJ to run down to the neighbors to check to see if he had wandered down there.
Neil! Bella!
I just didn't know which way he had gone.
Neil!
I was trying to keep a clear head about me, thinking, where would he have gone?
A quarter-mile downriver, Rick DeJarnette and his son Ricky were relaxing on their dock.
Oh, Ricky.
While I was laying there in the chair, I got splashed. And I figured that it was my youngest son playing over there in the bay. I looked over, and Bella was watching out in the water,
The dog was trying to tell me something, I could tell.
Yeah, it looks like Neil. Ricky, it is Neil. Get on, quick.
My dad jumped in the water, then Bella went in right after him.
Once I dove into the water, being at that height, I could not see him anymore. The first thing that went through my head was, he's dead already. My fear is that I'm not going to be able to find him. He's gone too far under. About that time, I looked over, and out of nowhere, Bella was there. So my first instinct right then was, okay, I've got to swim towards the dog. She had followed him this far down the river. She had to be still trying to keep up with him. When I finally reached the dog, sure enough, there was Neil.
Neil.
I picked him up. He was pale white. There was no pulse.
Neil.
Just the thought of, here's a 3-year-old little boy. He can't die yet. He's too young to die. One thing that I thought about at this time was that, what if I knew CPR? Maybe I could save this kid.
Diane DeJarnette was back at the house when LJ came looking for his little brother.
We'll see if he's down there.
I told him my son Ricky was down at the dock and he should go look down there.
Find him? No.
LJ came back to me and said,
Go get your mom.
I think something's wrong because Ricky is downriver. My children are not allowed to be downriver because past our place there is nothing there.
Mom, they're down there. Ricky, hang on, I'll be right there.
When Ricky was yelling to get the boat, it was a fearful cry. I knew something was wrong and I feared that it was Neil.
When we finally got to the shore, we're stuck down there. You cannot swim against this current.
Talk to me. Neil.
After giving him some air and stuff several times, I saw no reaction. I really started to panic then.
Come on, breathe, Neil, come on.
Bella was sitting there right beside us, just watching. I thought, there's got to be another way to do this.
Oh, Neil, come on.
Then just out of somewhere, came up with the idea, okay, give him a little air, throw him over my shoulder.
Come on, Neil, come on. That's it, spit. Come on.
Finally, I heard something.
Come on, that's it, you're coughing.
Going, wait a minute, this might work. So I threw him over my shoulder again. The prettiest sight was just seeing him spit up water. But we still have the problem of how do we get back?
Rick started to panic when he saw the boat. He was glad that help was there, but he knew he had to get Neil into the boat and was afraid to go back out into the current with him.
There's nobody. You gotta get him in the boat.
The adrenaline just pumped in. I just grabbed him with one hand, picked him up, and started swimming towards the boat.
Is he breathing? Is he breathing?
Neil was breathing by that time, but he wasn't awake. He wouldn't keep his eyes open. He was just limp. He was far from okay. He needed help.
I was getting very nervous that I didn't get to him in time. Something I did was wrong. I was just praying that he was going to be all right. He'd be the same child that he was when he fell in.
I saw the DeJarnettes pulling up in their boat.
Is he all right?
When they told me that they had found him floating by, all I did was turn around and run to call 911.
I don't know where we are.
Dennis, who are you talking to?
When I took him, he was bloated. His body just wasn't the same, and he was in and out of consciousness. And it just hit me then that what had really happened.
Rescuers with Blythe Ambulance Service were dispatched to the scene.
I couldn't speak. I was so afraid. I was scared that he would die. And my mom and my dad and me love him.
It's been a year since the incident. Neil, now 4 years old, escaped without any injuries.
I don't know what it would be like to be without my son. Just the thought of that and how close he came. And I want to thank the good man upstairs again that it wasn't his time. It's our time that we can share together for the rest of our life. There's something special about my son, and I think he gave that back to us. It's a tough lesson to learn. It's too bad it had to happen this way. I could be one less child right now. And as far as it changing my life, he does not go anywhere without his life jacket on.
Oh, it's just great. I love my dog.
I'm most grateful for Bella, the dog, for Rick, for their whole family. I could never thank them enough.
I'm very proud of my husband. He says that anybody would have done it. But when you're put in that situation, you always wonder if you actually can do it or would do it. And I'm very proud of him.
Bella, I think, is the real hero. Without her, I don't think I would have been able to find him. I wouldn't have woken up to even see him float by. He would have just floated by, and nobody would have known a thing. When I see Bella today, it's just, you know, we almost have a special bond now, too.
Bella is as much a hero as a human would be. I wish I could do more for her, but it's hard to know what to do for a dog for saving your child's life.
I love Bella.
Very good.
Uncle Joey saved me.
This is our hero.
On any given day, in emergency rooms around the country, as life or death decisions are made, hopes and hearts are saved and broken forever. This story is not a recreation. It's a look inside the trauma unit of Sharp Memorial Hospital in San Diego, California. January 26, 1992. A young man injured in a motorcycle accident is brought in by Life Flight.
Coming. On three, Patty. One, two, three. Out.
Hold down.
Three.
Roxanne's got 300 TP and a list of medication.
This is Britt Evans. He's 25 years old. Full coverage motorcycle, motocrossing out in the Salt Lake City area, Teal Wells. He rounded at the crest of the hill, fell, got tangled up.
You say he wasn't responsive though when you were...
He would not do, he would not fall from that.
Dr. Michael McHugh leads the trauma team treating 25-year-old Britt Evans.
When Britt arrived, he had a bad brain injury as well as a collapsed lung, and that is a bad combination because as his oxygen level in his blood diminished, his brain injury would have become worse. Do we have something I can just wrap this arm with? Any kind of Curlex? It's very difficult to say how head injuries are going to go because the initial impact to the brain does not necessarily say how things are going to go in 2 to 3 days.
What we call petechial hemorrhage, just little pinpoints of hemorrhage. Not anything surgically that can be done to fix it, but it just means that he's had a significant brain injury on that right side of his brain.
Although Britt is in a deep coma, his parents, Georgine and Bob Evans, are allowed in to see him.
Hi, Britt. Mom and Dad's here. Everyone sends their love. A lot of praying's being done for you. I don't know if you can hear me or not.
My thoughts that went through my mind when I saw Britt in ICU was, God, how could this happen?
You're in good hands, Britt.
I felt that we were going to lose him. I felt that I just wanted to take him and shake him and make him wake up and make him know that we're there.
I guess the main concern is just not knowing really what's going on, what's happening. It's a terrible feeling. There's nothing you can do about it.
Britt. Neurologist Jeff Siegel takes over Britt's care.
Britt, I want you to open your eyes. Open your eyes for me. An intracranial pressure monitor gives us a number, and the number lets us know what is normal and abnormal pressure. You and I walk around with a pressure under 10. A person with a brain injury will often have a number greater than 20. When I walk into his room and see a number greater than 20, I'm concerned, and we need to do whatever we can to get that pressure down. He was 30 feet in the air, thrown down, hit head first. So the first thing that goes through my mind is that that is not a survivable injury, and I'm concerned that Britt is teetering on the edge, and if we don't get a handle on the pressure, he may not have a good outcome.
Just rolled him over.
Hi, Brett. How you doing? It's Thursday. I've been in here 5 days. It's about time you wake up and start talking to me. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but your brothers are all worrying about you. Your friends have been calling. I've been telling Britt that we love him, that everybody's been calling, that we're behind him, just to get well and to come back to us. Dad's here.
Hey, Brett, can you hear me? Huh? He's just laying there, you know, he looks like he's dead, other than the machine pumping. And when you walk into the room, I don't care how much you like to look at him, the first thing you look at is the meter, and you stand there and stare at the meter. And you're just sitting there saying, go down, meter, go down. You're not supposed to be up that high.
A lot of prayers are out there for you. I feel like I just want to explode. I'd like him to open up his eyes and say, Mom, it's going to be okay. I'm going to be okay.
You got a nurse here.
When that happens, then I probably just totally break down and let it all loose. Cry and cry and cry. As long as he's alive, I'll take care of him the rest of my life, if I have to.
After 17 days, Britt finally came out of the coma and began a grueling program of therapy and rehabilitation.
Most of the people that come to my attention are not wearing helmets, and their outcome is usually very poor. I think Britt is lucky in that he was wearing a helmet. There's no question in my mind that without a helmet, he had a non-survivable injury.
I think I was the happiest mother in the world when I saw him open up his eyes, because I knew at that point he was going to make it. And talk about a miracle. Britt had a miracle. He had God on his side and the guardian angels. When you get on a powerful bike like that, you know, I felt that he was bound to get hurt, but never anything this serious.
It's important for people to wear safety gear. You might not be able to walk away like I did. I just got lucky. Some people might not get that second chance.
Since his accident, he's more happy-go-lucky. He today is probably at about 70% of his self. But if it wasn't for the trauma team, Brett wouldn't be alive today. We just, you know, how do you thank somebody that does something like that for you? It's hard to do.